is in our midst, the media consultant. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's put our hands together as we welcome Mr. John Mona. He is the one that will give us the opening speech for this morning. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you and good morning. It's good to have you all here again. Like you said, my name is John Akbar. On behalf of Panasonic Nigeria Limited, I'd like to welcome to our midst Mr. Mohammad Akbar.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
He's going to take us through the series and the features of this wonderful camera that's coming from this table of Panasonic. Tries and strives always to give a reliability in camera. I'm sure Mr. Akbar will do justice to that, so we'll just sit back and let him take us through this camera. Thank you so much.
All right, please let's put our hands together as we welcome him.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be on you. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As already been introduced, my name is Mohammad Akbar and I'm from Panasonic, Dubai. It's a pleasure to have you all here, and also it's a pleasure to work with you all. I can see a good number of familiar faces, and some of the faces we met in the morning really had a big smile and a good kind of greeting attitude and gesture, which we really appreciate. That's what we were looking forward for last year when we started working with you all, that we wanted to build the relation. So probably I can say we have still started building the foundation. So we have a long way to go. So even though we enjoy our success with you, we are really very thankful to you all, and honestly on behalf of Panasonic I would like to express my sincere gratitude towards each one of you who has been always associated with us, and also the new joinees who have joined today. Panasonic has been striving how we can make our lives comfortable, very simple as that. We're trying to give you all a better life, a better world, which has been our slogan for Panasonic all these years. So today, apart from some of the very popular digital movie cameras which you have experienced, the MDH2 I'm talking about, we also have two more new products. Can you guess which one I'm talking about? The X1000. Now what's new with the X1000? 4K, you're right. So 4K is the new buzzword. Even though consumers are not asking for 4K, there are lots of advantages of recording in 4K and delivering your files in full high definition. Now what are the advantages, how it can benefit you, why you should be investing so much in a camera like that, I'm going to touch upon that. And what is the intention of a brand like Panasonic to introduce 4K when actually the consumers themselves are not ready now. They are still touching full high definition. But we have a long way to go. As I told you, the roadmap is really very, very strong, and people are looking forward for cameras that can do way far better than what a TV can display in terms of resolution. Then we also have the GH4. My colleague, if you can please show it to them in front. This is the world's first compact interchangeable lens 4K camera, the G series. So if you want an interchangeable lens camera, this is the G series, the GH4. So this has had very good reviews. In fact, all the cameras, the GH4, the X1000, as well as the MDH2, if you hit the web, you will find all plus points for those. What is the reason that we could make such a successful camera? How is that Panasonic could make successful cameras? All the time we introduce some camera, it's been well accepted, and people know that, wow, this is what we were looking for. The secret behind our success is you. When we take your feedback, the feedback goes to the engineers sitting in the factories who make these cameras. So today we know what are the new features that you're looking forward for next year in these cameras in order to develop them. I don't say that each and every feature can be answered, because there might be enormous number of inputs that you want, because when a camera is made, it's not exclusively made for one particular country. It's made globally. Some features could be different for the Nigerian market because of your taste. Some features could be different for the US or UK or overseas markets like Japan or Asian markets. But then we try to see what all you have been asking for, we try to give you that in the new models. That makes us more successful. And that's the secret behind our success. So we got limited time today, even though, but I would like to now start talking about the features, having thanked the Panasonic team for the wonderful arrangements, and having thanked everyone for taking out a valuable time. At the same time, having apologies to you all to make you all wait. Quite a good number of you all came quite early and had to wait for that. My apologies. So are you all ready to go ahead with the cameras now? All right, so which one shall I start with? Because I've got MDH2 on my table, then I've got the X1000, the GH4. Everyone shows the four fingers, and I was quite optimistic about that. That's the reason why I kept the X1000 on the screen. And I hope you're able to see the screen, or you want me to stand at the corner. I don't mind doing that because I'll probably be hiding the screen. Okay.
Me too.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, now in one word, the X1000 is the world's first 4K camera that can do in 60p. 4K in 60p. 4K, some other brands also give you. To mention, Sony gives you 4K as well. But 60p, this is the first camera. Okay, it's very compact. The camera is very, very, very compact. The LCD can be fixed in like this. And this comes into incorporation with all the professional features which our P2 HD cameras have. The broadcast cameras that we have got, all the professional features come into incorporation with this in a compact size. And what is the idea of making this compact? Actually, I can lift it very effortlessly. If you can please lift the camera, you'll get an idea how compact it is. What do you feel about it, sir? How?
It is not very heavy.
Not very heavy. How about you?
It's not heavy at all.
Not heavy at all. Absolutely. This is not at all heavy. In fact, in compact size also, it's so compact that you can put it into your travel bag and travel. That's how I brought from Dubai. I just put it in my bag and I had absolutely no problem with customs because the guy really didn't know that I've got a professional camera in my bag. And that was a camera that can do 4K, not just full high definition. Okay, now the whole idea of doing this compact is that there are various deployments of this camera for usage. Now the deployment of usages is something like this. A very wide range of users we are targeting, and we are talking about sports and entertainment. There's a reason why it's got 60p, particularly for sports. You need to really track the fast moving objects, maybe a football or the football for that matter. You could do documentaries. You could do promotional videos for any types of products or services or events. Motion picture recording, for that matter wedding. ENG, electronic news gathering. If you want to use it for studio purposes, it also serves some of your requirements. And we are looking to target the pink highlighted categories. So the cinema market, the broadcasting market, and the other markets. So it's like the combination of all put together. Now looking at the professional features which I'm talking about in this camera, 4K is something new. Full high definition everyone is aware about, right? It's 1080 lines. Any guess how many lines for 4K in terms of resolution? Full high definition is how many? 1080 lines. 1920 by 1080. If it is 4K, it is 2000 lines. In simple terms, 4K is 4 times full high definition. So when you say 4 times full high definition, I'm talking about 3840 by 2160 times resolution. So each of your corners of your 4K screen is like full HD, full HD, full HD, full HD. In short, 8 megapixel. Okay, obviously you've got 8 megapixel, which is 4 times. Compared to full HD, how many megapixel is full HD? 2 megapixel. 2 megapixel. Full HD is 2 megapixel, right? 1980 by 1080. So 4K is 3860 by 2160. So this camera can just not do 4K, it can also do something called Cinema 4K. Cinema 4K is 4096 by 2160. So your screen is more wider. So if you need to make footage of a very wide screen, this is the best camera. This is one of the only cameras in the industry right now that can use Cinema 4K. Other brands like Sony can do you ultra high definition, UHD. We're talking about 3840 by 2160. So I'll touch upon that more detailedly, talking about other features. It can do high bitrate. If you're looking at 200 Mbps bitrate, this can do 200 Mbps in full high definition. You want to do 150 Mbps in UHD, or for that matter 100 Mbps in Cinema 4K, that is possible. Or you want to have lower bit rates, you can also bring it lower and lower, up to 28 Mbps. You can also do it lower if you select AVC HD formats. So it supports formats like MOV, MP4 and AVC HD. Talking a little more about its lens, its other features. It's equipped with the Leica lens. Leica is a very renowned lens. Everyone is aware of it. It's a German brand. We've been closely working with Leica, and Panasonic has all the facilities of making quality standards that can match Leica. So we now make this Leica lenses, and this camera is equipped with the Leica lens. apart from it's by itself as a brand, it also has a bright f value, f1.8. So you want to do any manual defocusing at the back, or your background kind of depth of field, you will be able to do more creatively in this camera with the f1.8. It's a fixed lens. So being a fixed lens with f1.8, we also give you a zoom, optical zoom of 20x. So if I want to zoom into you sitting at the back, I will be able to comfortably do that. It's got an intelligent zoom as well, like 40x intelligent zoom, just in case I need more zoom. But 20x optical zoom really delivers anything that can be like, I would achieve by using any additional lens. All right, so talking about the viewing angle, it's got 29.5 wide viewing angle. This is good enough for me to cover anything, like even a wedding stage for that matter, where people are on the stage and I need to cover from one corner to the other, left to right. It's got built-in LED filters. People worry about brightness control when they take the cameras out. So it's got built-in filters. So here the button is there to select your built-in filters or switch it off if you don't want it. I can take to 1x4, 1x16 and 1x64 just by turning the switch up and down. Push it up and push it down. So the selection goes on with my own hands. It's got 3 manual rings. So you got your zoom, focus and iris control with 3 manual rings. Usually these 3 manual rings, we give it for the professional cameras. We don't put it in the consumer cameras. So this is for the first time that we're given 3 manual rings for a consumer type professional camera. So this camera actually doesn't fall into the complete professional P2 HD kind of series, nor a consumer type of handheld camera like this. A compact one, the WX970. This camera also can do 4K. I'm going to touch upon this after this camera. So the manual ring operations comes into the professional, but what this camera does is, it brings the consumer to a higher end and also the professional to a lower end. So it bridges the gap between the consumers and the professionals. So the professional will feel that he has not sacrificed any features buying this camera. And consumers will feel that they have upgraded themselves like anything for going to this camera. So this is a new camera. That's the reason why we call this a very hybrid camera, looking at consumers who want this kind of camera, who don't want to invest a huge amount, at the same time who don't want to buy a camera it's of no values. All right. So any questions if you have before I proceed? XLR inputs you have been asking. Yes, it's got XLR inputs, 2 XLR inputs. You can find here, one on the back here and one at the side. So if you want to have any audio connected to that, any kind of interview, it's possible either wireless or wired. Just plug the wireless cable, the cables to it, and then you have your mic connected to it. About the media, we still believe that SD cards is the most reliable media, not the hard disk. Hard disk has always had drawbacks. People have recorded on hard disks and later on they realize that the hard disk is jammed and they have gone to retrieve their hard disk. Depending on their desperate need to retrieve the footage, the people have charged them like anything. Because sometimes the footage is so important than money. You cannot take the same footage. So this happens with the hard disk. So we strongly believe that we don't want to endanger your job. Your experience, your qualification, your investment, everything goes into that little video recording that you do. And if that is endangered because of a product manufacturer who's giving you a hard disk camera, I think it's not a good idea. What do you feel about it? So we picked up the most secure, the most reliable recordable media, that is the SD card. Because nothing happens to SD cards. There's nothing like SD card is crashed, nothing like SD card cannot withstand the temperature, nothing like SD card is bent. So this camera is equipped with 2 SD cards here at the side. You just plug these SD cards into it, 1 and 2. Depending on your capacity, you'll be able to record. Now what's the idea of having 2 SD cards? Just like the MDH2, we have 2 SD cards on that. What is the advantage you feel? Yes, relay recording. That is called relay recording. One is full and it switches to the second one. That's called relay recording. All right. Second one is backup recording. Backup recording is you're recording on SD card 1 and the same recording is done on the SD card 2. Okay. This is the same case with the MDH2. We have the same technology in MDH2. Now you should ask me what grade did we do in the X1000? Because this is a new camera and it's a futuristic model. That means it's going to be for probably if you buy this camera, I'm sure if I were a photographer, cinematographer, videographer, I would keep this camera for next 5 years with me because it's 4K and the market is going to take next 5 years probably to mature, the Nigerian market for 4K. So I'll be having this camera with me for next 5 years because my investment is foolproof. I don't have to upgrade for any models. It's such a wonderful camera. Now what we did with this is, with the two SD cards, we have something called background recording. Background recording is the moment you switch on the camera starts recording. It does not stop for you to press the record button. It starts recording automatically. So what is the advantage? As I told you initially that we worked on a feedback. The feedback that we received from some of the videographers is that the videographer wants to record the footage, but by mistake he pressed the standby button. That accident has happened. So when the standby button is pressed, the videographer is thinking that it's recording. And then to stop it, he has pressed the record button. So what happens? It records when he doesn't want it to record. He realizes this mistake only when you do your finishing, what do you call your post-production editing part. Then you, oh my God, that's a big blunder now. Can you go back to record? No. So they have told us, we need to have a backup somehow. We don't know what you guys are going to do. You have to have some backup. I said, man, how that is possible? It's your mistake. But we cannot put it like that, right? We have to find a solution for you. So the only solution we found is a new technology called background recording. The moment you switch on the camera records. So this is one great thing in the X1000 where the camera starts recording the moment you switch it on.
You switch on the camera and you don't want the camera to start recording. What do you do?
Switch it off. Disable this feature.
Okay.
The option is for you. You can disable it. And since it's recording continuously, it's I think basic information, basic knowledge to keep a higher capacity SD card. Because it's an event for 3 hours and you want to record for 1 hour, your actual recording on SD card 1 might be on a 32 GB, whereas your actual background recording should be on a 64 GB or maybe 32 GB. Because background is continuously recording. The moment you switch on the camera, it records. So you need to have a higher capacity. But if you're so confident that no, this mistake I don't do, I'm an experienced guy, just disable the feature. We don't treat everyone like you're on the same boat. But we have to take care of even the entrepreneurs, the newcomers, also the experts. So that's why we have given the option yes or no, on or off. Simple as that. All right. So this feature has been appreciated, and I hope you all will experience that as a positive.
What are that connection option?
Okay.
Machines.
What all you can connect? It's got a HDMI output.
Yes. No, not the output.
Okay.
I mean, connecting the device to. Yes, output rather. That's what they have BNC and all those stuff.
Okay. See, you have got HDMI mainly with us. We don't have BNC and you don't have the SDI out for this. We have got the feedback for SDI out. We don't have the SDI output for this, but we got the maximum is HDMI output. So you'll be able to stream it down into your recorders. If you got your 4K recorders, you want to directly take HDMI is the only gateway for this camera. Or you want to back up your footage while having recorded, you can connect a hard disk. It's got a USB 3. USB 3 is 10 times faster than USB 2. So the blue color one here, plug your USB hard disk, maybe a 2 terabyte hard disk, whatever you have, and just back up your data, whatever you recorded on the SD card. All right. You also have your composite videos out. As I told you, we are targeting for everyone, right from the entrepreneurs to the professionals. Those people who have got the composite monitors, still we are not disappointing them. Your workflow is not affected. That's one of the big challenges we got. When we made a 4K camera, imagine we got a standard definition resolution out. Because the person who's going to go for this is such a one that who has got his standard definition or high definition kind of workflow, but now he's trying to connect to the future, but he wants to not sacrifice on what he's doing. You know, like when the DVD players or recorders were introduced, there was something called a combo player, which could also have the VCRs or the tapes playable as well as the DVD disc playable, right? So that's how slowly the market transit from the tapes to the discs. So I think something similar matches over here. Yes, and then you also have your composite videos. You want to have your headphones fixed to it to monitor the audio level. It's possible with this camera. You have your headphone out with this. And then you have a beautiful 3.5-inch high resolution touchscreen, which is really a big relief. Or you want to just close it, if you want to use the viewfinder, it's also a high resolution viewfinder, you'll be able to do that in any of the cases. Now being a touchscreen, you'll be able to operate, most of the features at the touch of your fingertips, or you want to do it manually, you got all the manual buttons on the camera itself. And you have got 5 dedicated users for this. You can dedicate your features to different five different user buttons. Like for example, it's a studio or it's a production house, and say I'm the owner of production house and I've got 5 videographers. So you can have all your settings in user 1, you can have all your settings in user 2, 3, 4 and 5. So next day you come, you use 1, he uses 4. he's not going to do anything with their user settings. So it's undisturbed workflow. All right. So this can be shared in the sense by multiple users having your own prioritized menus prefixed or preset into the camera.
What is the battery life of this?
Okay. What's the battery life of this camera? You can record for 6 hours. 5,800 milliamperes lithium-ion rechargeable battery. You can see the battery is quite thick enough. And you got a button here to press. When you press that, it's going to indicate and show you how much of the battery is left in 4 dots. So if it is 75%, 3 LED lights going to light. So ensure that, okay, I've got 75% of the battery left. So that's a big relief, and 6 hours of video recording. That's, I think, really good enough. So in an event you're doing more than that, you have only option to buy an additional battery, which at an extra cost. In the standard package, additional battery doesn't come. This battery itself with 5,800 milliamperes, it's really decent enough.
Is the accessory available locally?
Yeah, we will strive to ensure that our authorized distributor would have here, and that's what we recommend them, that to have accessories in order to support requirements like as you asked. So if it should be available, definitely it should be available in panel. So we try to ensure that these batteries are available.
Does it have an inbuilt audio? Maybe if you're not using an external audio, you want to use a camera. What does it have?
I didn't get you, sorry.
Does it have an inbuilt camera?
Inbuilt
Does it have
audio.
an inbuilt camera? Maybe you don't want to connect an external microphone. You want to use a camera mic.
Okay. Yes, it's got a built-in stereo mic. Yes, 2, left and right. If you don't want to use an external mic, yes, the camera has a built-in microphone, stereo microphone. So it supports Dolby Digital. So not necessary all the time you carry an external mic and all that, except it's for interview or something like that. But if you want to capture nature or something of that sort, external sound, the built-in microphone helps you. So yes, camera has a built-in microphone, and you got a zoom toggle not just at your palm, the place of your palm, like this here, at my thumb when I switch it on, okay, and then at my fingertips on the top to zoom in and zoom out. This toggle helps me, and this is much faster zoom. But if I want to make it much slower, at a much slower pace, on the top you can see, I just flip it up because the record button is protected on the top. This was also again a feedback to us that the top button gets pressed accidentally and records. So we kept a shield cover for that. So it's foolproof now. You press it, nothing happens. So when you want to record, flip it up, record the button, and then you got that zoom toggle and zoom in and zoom out toggle here. But this is much slower. If you want to, show something like, very far off place and zoom in very slowly, you'll be able to do that. You want something fast, then I'll have to use at my fingertips here. Yeah, so it's very convenient when you hold the camera at your fingertips. It's really convenient for you to have the camera up. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm just wondering what are the features I have missed so that I could talk about it. About the XLR inputs, in case you have an external mic and you want to adjust your mic levels, your volume levels, you got analog buttons here, up and down. Yeah, so you'll be able to adjust your mic levels depending on your requirement. You want the speaker's voice much more, or you want the interviewer's voice lower, whatever adjustments you want to do, you'll be able to do that. And you got a manual button here, left and right, or auto selection, very conveniently placed so that you can enable and disable. You also have menu button here, and then your jog dial in order to select whatever options you would like to have it. Yes.
Does it work better?
Does the camera has does the camera has a mechanism to indicate when recording bad voice and bad picture? Does it indicate?
Yeah. Now we have got technologies like zebra pattern, which is for overexposure. So when you enable zebra pattern, it shows lines on all those white areas which are overexposed. So you get an indication that the footage is overexposed. You can adjust it, and you want to know whether your focus is at peak or no. We have got something called focus peaking. So you'll be able to adjust the focus at the required levels. Okay, and then you want to have you want to know where the center of your video is. Your center marker is there. You can enable the center marker. We also got master pedestal for that matter, for you adjust your shades of gradations, black levels. You got master pedestal. So much more than this, we have the professional features. So overall, all these features put together is an indication for you at different levels and different parts of video. What is your choice? So the camera indicates accordingly, and then you'll be able to do all your adjustments. Yes.
And the next question is, do we like if I want to record and I get to where I don't have enough light, does it has infra light?
Okay. Yes. Now we don't have a backlight on this. You have to fix an additional spotlight, just the way the cameraman is doing here. But if you want to record in zero light areas, like without light, you can record this camera in 0 lux. Absolute 0 you can record, and the camera has got inbuilt infrared sensor. So it will still be able to see the footage, but it will not be color. As you know, it will be in green color. But the nice thing about this camera is 0 lux. 0 lux. So competitors like Sony can do in 1 lux. We can do in 0 lux. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Any questions you all have? I would like to take questions with this. The product is made in Japan, if that's a concern in your mind. Product is made in Japan, just like the MDH2 is made in. And I will pass on the camera to you all after the demonstration or after the introduction of other models is over. And quickly to touch upon the competitors, we have not touched upon the competitors. All the other features such as I told you, this camera is future-proof. It's also a smart camera. It's got built-in Wi-Fi. That's something new with this camera. It's got built-in Wi-Fi. So you'll be able to easily connect this with your smartphones, maybe Android-based or Apple devices, and control the camera with your smartphone. All you need to do is just download an application called Image App. You know? Image App. Yeah, I'll show that to you in case you're. So what you would do is, you just take a smartphone. Once you downloaded your Image App, so now my smartphone is connected to HDMI 1 on the TV, and all you need to do is have this application. This is called the Image App. It's free of cost. Just download it, type in Panasonic, and you'll get it. Now what you'll do on your camera is, you'll switch on the camera. Okay, I'm switching on the camera now, like this, and then there is by default the function button 5 for Wi-Fi. You can change it. You can put it to 1 or 2 or whatever your choice is, or you can go directly to the menu and select the Wi-Fi button. So in this case, since it's already defaultly selected, so I press the selection button 5, then it shows me Wi-Fi on. Okay, now it shows Wi-Fi on. So what I go to my smartphone and then enable the Wi-Fi and then search for the Wi-Fi networks. So once I do the search Wi-Fi network and enable the camera Wi-Fi, my phone should recognize this camera now. All right. So now it's searching. You can see now it recognizes X1000 AD. So I select. Now it's going to connect to this camera. So if you have a question, what is the range? It's obviously just like a Wi-Fi. It takes about 10 meters or 12 meters. Right? Wi-Fi, that's how the Wi-Fi range is. So now I'm connected to it. I go back and then I open the Image App. Panasonic Image App, that's the Image App. Okay, now I'm getting information that's going to connect to the camera. Just to wait for a moment. Yeah, there it is. So I say finish. Okay, now you see it's connected to the camera. So whatever I'm seeing on my smartphone is actually the camera that is showing me. All right. So if I want to zoom in now, I can simply zoom in. You can see that's a zoom in. Yeah, I'm zooming in now, and then zoom out. I'll also be able to operate all the menu, all the settings through my smartphone. So I do not have to touch the camera at all. I can have the camera mounted on the tripod or somewhere on the ceiling or something like that for bird photography. People do it for wildlife photography. People keep it near the den and at dangerous places. They cannot go personally. So what they just do is they just place the camera and then have the camera connected to it, operate all the features through the smartphone. Now you'd also be able to record when you press the record button, and actually the recording of the footage is on your SD card, not on your phone. It goes to your SD card on the camera. Now obviously that has to be the case because it can be a longer footage of maybe 32 GB, whereas my phone can be 16 GB phone. So I don't want to endanger my phone with that much data, right? So it's very foolproof to keep the recording on the primary device, the camera itself. I can also take still pictures and just put it on Facebook or YouTube if I have my account, or Twitter for that matter, or Ustream, whatever I want to do, wherever I'm connected with my username and IDs, I'll be able to plug it easily. So that's the reason why we call this camera smart camera. So there have been many users now, many videographers are trying to keep the camera away for creative videography. where they really don't want to hold the cameras in their hand, but then record something which they cannot do. Very unusual stuff. Mount the camera on the ceiling, mount it on the top, and have a totally different view of what they are recording. It's really great. On YouTube, if you see, it's flooded like anything. People are there who really want to emerge as, you know, creative videographers. Yes, please.
Can you view the image from your camera, from your phone?
I didn't.
The image of what the camera is. The image of what the camera is recording.
Yes.
Maybe you are trying to set up someone, and you place the camera. Can you?
Yes, you'll be exactly to see what the camera is recording.
From your phone.
Yes.
Well, what you want to achieve.
Yes.
And you are not with the camera. When the camera is on.
Yeah. See, your phone will be showing you what you're recording. Whatever is on your LCD of your camera, you'll be able to see on your phone. On your phone. Now, what if you get a call? Because it's a phone, right? You might get a phone call suddenly while I'm doing that. It stops the display, but it continues the recording. It doesn't cut the recording. Then it gives you the call, answer or no. Then you answer the call, it's fine, your communication starts. And if it's a lengthy communication, the recording still continues. It doesn't get disconnected unless you disconnect it. So once you finish your call, you stop your call, then again the menu is back. And then it gives an option whether you want to stop now or keep recording itself. Because it's a communication device, it's a phone, right? So anyone can call you at any time. It has happened with me when I was doing a demonstration. Suddenly somebody called me and said, wow, let me cut the call. So I happened to do that. All right, so it's so convenient. Now, yeah, have a question, someone here, please. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the lens.
The lens.
The lens, yeah. So you said it can shoot on the cinema. Now I want to do can you fix adapter?
Okay. Unfortunately, this is a fixed lens. So you will not be able to fix an additional lens for this. It's a fixed lens camera.
Okay.
It's compatible. And if you're working on say Final Cut Pro on a MacBook, it takes your 4K. You will be able to edit. Okay, now there's one question which I was expecting from you all, which has not been asked, because this is most frequently asked question. The question is, what is the point of recording in 4K when the customers are not asking 4K? Okay, that was the question. What is the point of recording in 4K when my customer is not actually asking me to give the files in 4K? Okay, this is a very, very intelligent question, and this probably would stop you from buying the camera. But if I give the answer, you would rather like to buy the camera now than waiting for customers to ask you in 4K. Because when the customers start asking you for 4K, they're actually disabling your capabilities. They're stopping you from doing a lot of things. Like for example, when you go to a tailor and you want him to stitch a shirt for you, all right? Now your shirt probably would require 2 meters cloth, for example, 2 meters cloth. The tailor is not going to ask you 2 meters of cloth. He's going to ask you 3 meters. Little more than what he requires. Why? Because he's going to cut some of the places and throw. That goes as wastage. So if you ask the tailor to just exactly keep the cloth measurement to what it requires, he will not be able to do the job. That's what exactly happens in 4K. Now in 4K, what happens is when you shoot the video in 4K, you're shooting at 8 megapixel. 8 megapixel you are shooting. That you have to keep in mind. And when you deliver in full high definition, full HD is how much? 2 megapixel, right? 1920 by 1080. When you multiply that, you get 2 million megapixels, which is 2 megapixels in shot. So when you actually need to deliver in 2 megapixels and you're shot or captured in 8 megapixel, that means you have so much of option to crop. You got 6 megapixel of wastage with you. Wastage in the sense you can crop, you can cut. If I take a still picture now for this scene, still picture 8 megapixel, I can take your face 2 megapixel. I can take your face 2 megapixel by cropping 6 megapixel of unwanted material, or someone at the back 2 megapixel and crop someone in the front. I do not have to take 2 megapixel, 2 megapixel, 2 megapixel here. I just take one shot, 8 megapixel. That's a big relief for me. So in editing, you will see that when you crop the video to the minimum level of 2 megapixel, your video is really better than the relative full high definition. So that is one advantage by cropping it, and then you're getting it to 2 megapixel of resolution, not losing any resolution. And also you have got stabilization. When your video is a little bit shaky and you realize that in a post-production the video is not appropriate, it has been a little shaky because it's a handheld camcorder, you can crop the corners. Maybe you crop 2 megapixel and you make a file of 6 megapixel. And then you down convert that to 2 megapixel again. full high definition. So your again down converted file of full high definition is way far better than your relative full high definition. So this is a big relief for your post-production person there, or also as a videographer, as a cinematographer, when you shoot in 8K and then deliver the files in 2K. Now what happens when you shoot in full high definition? When you shoot in full high definition, you have to be so much careful because you cannot crop anything in video files. The moment you crop from 2 megapixels, you're actually coming down to high definition. You're losing resolution. If you're cropping anything from 2 megapixels, if you crop 1 megapixel, you're delivering a file of 1 megapixel to a consumer. Because consumer has got a full HD TV, when he plays a 1 megapixel on a 2 megapixel TV, comes to the resolution is not good. He's not happy with your work. Isn't it so? So that's one good thing about the 4K recording, is that you have a lot of option to crop, stabilize, and then down convert. So, but only disadvantage is that since you're recording in 4K, the capacity of the card that you're using should be really strong, like 64 GB. For example, if you want to record for 1 hour, you need to have a 64 GB. And the class is U3. It's a new class for 4K recording. Your normal SD cards will not work on that. Even though you might have 95 Mbps or whatever, 45 Mbps. But if your class should be U3 class. And the cards are not that expensive. Your 4K compatible cards are not at all expensive. It's quite affordable and widely available in the market. We've got our own brand, Panasonic is there. So you'll be able to buy these cards and operate those cameras. And it's very fast. There's no buffering at all. That's a nice thing, because cameras have to buffer if you're recording in 4K and you press the stop button, the camera has to show you recording, please wait. That doesn't happen with the cameras. The cameras are made that fast because of the processor that we have got for this. Okay? So yes, that addresses your question as well. And also, as I told you, this is a big relief for your editing professionals to be able to do. And you got a selectable frequency 60 as well as 50p. Yep. So this is a global camera. You can select a frequency 60p, 50p. And apart from that, there are lots of other technologies packed which I have not touched upon, such as the 5-axis OIS for your stability, which is also there with the MDH2, because when the camera goes with handheld position, your shake happens, a lot happens of shaking. So the 5-axis OIS takes care of it. We got zebra patterns to show you highlighted overexposed areas. We got focus peaking. When you know that the focus is at maximum, the camera indicates that this is the maximum focus, stop at this time. So it's a big relief for you all. Then you got center marker, then master pedestal, and then you got your color adjustments, and lots of other professional features which are very helpful for you when you're actually taking the camera for shooting. So it assists you in various areas of cinematography. As the gentleman asked us a question, So this all P2HD professional features are incorporated into this compact camera. All right, we have got AX1 from Sony, and then the AX100. The AX1 is actually the 4K camera, which is actually an apple-to-apple comparison because of its big size. Sony also has an AX100, which is a compact model 4K. But we in order to answer Sony, we have got our WX970, which is also a 4K camcorder. I'm going to touch upon this eventually. But now talking about the X1000, you can see whatever is highlighted in the color red is a plus point for us. Number one, it's lightweight, 1.5 kilograms versus Sony's 2.5 kilograms. Sony's model is 1 kilogram extra. That means you're going to have 1 kilogram extra weight in your hand. And also in size, the camera is bigger than this one. So it was a big challenge for us to make a compact camera but have more features than Sony. It was very easy for us to do a compact camera with lesser features, but we didn't do that. We made a compact camera with more features than Sony model. Now what are the other features that I'm talking about? We're talking about Cinema 4K, which Sony doesn't have. All right? They have quite high definition only. That is, we're talking about 3840 by 2160. Our camera can do 4096 lines. That means more wider screen you'll be able to capture. Then 200 Mbps all intra. Sony cannot do 200 Mbps all intra. This camera can do 200 Mbps all intra. We have got 100 Mbps as well, and then 50 Mbps. So in recording, a full high definition is possible only with 50 Mbps in case of Sony. In our case, you can go to 200 Mbps, which is 4 times the strength of the signal as compared to Sony model. You have got triple rings, and then you have got night mode 0 lux. In case of Sony, you need 1 lux. That's what we heard. In our case, you need 0 lux. You don't need any light in case you want to shoot. And then you have got 2 SD card slots, and our camera's got Wi-Fi and NFC built in. As I just demonstrated to you, we got an image app. You'll be able to control this camera with your Panasonic image app. It can do 4K, 60, 50p output and background recording, which I already explained to you. These are the new features. Apart from that, the camera is big and bulkier. When you look at Sony, it's much bigger for you when you have to really carry it on your palm. So these are all the new good features with the X1000. So this camera we are trying to introduce in the Nigerian market, and it must be available within a calculated amount of time, which will be communicated to you all. All right. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me.